I'm Bridget PHETASY, and this is your dumpster fire for March 8th to March 14th.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
World burns.
I got that quarantine sadness. I got that quarantine sadness.
Madness.
I got that quarantine.
Fatness.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to start this week with proof we're living in a simulation.
Because if you needed any proof we're living in a simulation, this entire week should have been enough for you. It was like a barrage of news just killing all of us, beating us until we were down on the ground, like calling Uncle, I can't take it anymore. It reminds me of that Simpsons gif. He's already dead. But the strangest surreal moment I had was when President Trump addressed the nation this past March 11th from the Oval Office to discuss how the WHO had declared the coronavirus a pandemic.
Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic.
He was sitting there talking about it, and I couldn't stop laughing.
I did too. I had a fit of nervous giggles.
It was mostly just me sitting there like, Trump is our president, and there's a global pandemic.
I know. I was sitting there watching it being like, I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life.
I don't think I've had such a surreal moment of watching television as news is unfolding since 9/11. I remember being like it's so hard sometimes to get your mind around things as a human. Trump is our president.
Right.
And there's a pandemic.
I was watching the way his mouth moved, and I was like, this guy is in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a global pandemic.
I kept being like, reset. If I was writing this show, this would be the final season.
Right.
And there's a freaking asteroid headed, it's going to skirt Earth.
I know.
But it's headed towards Earth.
We're in the 2020 elections. That now we've got a global pandemic, and then they threw in an asteroid.
It can't be real.
Yeah.
Reset.
We have renamed our category for the moment to Moron in Chief.
Look. I call balls and I try to call balls and strikes. I can call out Trump when he does things well. I'm not a crazy, if you've watched the show, you know I'm not a crazy like Trump derangement person who hates him. But my God, he and all of his surrogates, it is a cult.
And the hate is boiling over, many in the liberal media using, and I mean using, coronavirus in an attempt to demonize and destroy the president.
It's basically, if you've lost your ability to understand that experts know things that you don't know, or to trust pundits like Hannity.
I think we've got to be very real with the American people. I don't like how we are scaring people unnecessarily.
I mean, it's just crazy. There was so much denial. And then now everybody a lot of people in the media I'm seeing, they're like, why is everyone panicking? Well, because you spent 2 weeks, particularly in right-wing media, downplaying it.
Oh, let's bludgeon Trump with this new hoax.
Right.
And it went from this is no big deal.
It will go away, just stay calm.
To this is a national emergency.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.
In like 3 days.
Right.
And you're wondering why people are panicking. You did this. You did this. If you or anyone out there saying this is no big deal, and now you're saying, why is everyone panic buying? This is why. You downplayed it for weeks, and then it went from frickin' 0 to 11 in like 3 days.
These go to 11.
Right.
Of course people are panicked. They're terrified. There was no in-between for anyone, especially if you weren't paying attention. You know, even on CNN, they ratcheted it up because they have their own motivations, and MSNBC.
The coronavirus crisis is going to get worse for Donald Trump. Even though the president will probably stay physically healthy throughout the crisis, his mental health could decline each day of the crisis.
The left-wing media that's like feeding on this and ratcheting it up.
These go to 11.
And also fear-mongering, which is not great. And then you have the right-wing media, which went from this is not real to a hoax to, oh, it's a national emergency and isn't our president doing a wonderful job?
Right.
No president ever acted faster.
What You're all crazy.
Yeah.
Listen to scientists.
If it looks like you're overreacting, you're probably doing the right thing.
Italy is literally closed. When people are like, isn't this hysteria overreacting a bit? I'm like, Italy is closed. Like, the country of Italy. And now Europe is closed. Hannity was like, this only affects you if you are above the age of 65, have a pre-existing condition.
Unless you have an immune system that's compromised and you are older and you have other underlying health issues, you are not going to die 99% from this virus.
Like, that's your entire audience. You literally just described your whole audience. All of Fox News. I was watching a lot of Fox just to see what they were saying. And because I kept having to have conversations with my boomer aunts and uncles who were like, this is not a big deal. Even up till like Wednesday. They're like, I'm not engaging in this. This sense of urgency. And now they're all out running around buying supplies. It's crazy. And then Rush Limbaugh, who has cancer.
The coronaviruses are cold viruses.
Like, you're the coronavirus's primary target. Like, it's coming for you, buddy.
So who cares if it's 10 times more lethal than the flu?
And then they're like, don't panic and buy gold. All of them are like, don't panic, but buy the gold that I'm advertising for on my. It's mind-bending. And then there's Dr. Fauci. He's been the kind of voice of reason through all of this. He's a director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. He's been the one who's telling the truth. I feel like the government or people will be saying, oh, it's not a big deal. And he's like, we do not have this under control. We are not prepared.
So I can say we will see more cases and things will get worse than they are right now.
There was a great tweet that David Lozo had, and he said, in global disaster movies, there's always a scientist who's like, we have to act now or people will die. And some government guy was like,
you're blowing this out of proportion.
And I'm like, no one would react to info like that in real life. My apologies to those movies. It's the greatest tweet. It's so true.
Excuse me, sir. Another ice warming. This one's from the Northern.
Thank you, Sparks. Oh, not to worry. Quite normal for this time of year. In fact, we're speeding up.
So I feel like Wednesday night, it went from everything ratcheted up on Wednesday. There was a lot of denial. And then Wednesday night, after the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic that morning, we heard from President Trump. And then directly after that, it was Rita and Tom Hanks were diagnosed. And the NBA was canceled. Like, it was all within like 4 hours. I feel like it was an hour of news that just kept coming. That's when America finally sat up and paid attention to the coronavirus. They're like, you can take Italy and you can take China, but you're not coming for America's real dad, Tom Hanks, and our NBA. That's when we'll take this seriously. This has gone too far. I need all the toilet paper I can get. We won't stand for you here. And the CDC says you should avoid shaking hands during the coronavirus. And apparently Mar-a-Lago is like ground zero for the coronavirus. There's been 4 or 3 people who have tested positive, and they have all been around Trump.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Thanks. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, I like that.
Why isn't he quarantined?
I don't know.
He's never going to get it.
I think Trump has it. I think he said he took the test last night, this morning, Saturday, as we film this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what his fever tweets would be like.
Oh, God.
God.
We cannot have a quarantined President Trump.
Tweeting.
No.
That's how we'll know. That'll be the truth.
That is how we'll know. It'll just be tweets all day. My favorite tweet of the week was from Tuxedo Mask. He said the best way to describe Trump's handling of the coronavirus is that one dude in every zombie movie who obviously got bitten but lies to the rest of the group about it.
I know, it's a perfect
reminds
description.
Me of
Dawn of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead.
Sam made a genius video, and hopefully it'll be even better when we find out he doesn't have coronavirus.
Moving on, we've got dumpster fire for president.
This category went from extremely long to just nothing. Basically, Biden beat Bernie on Super Tuesday, the second Super Tuesday, and it barely even made a blip because the next morning, WHO, as I affectionately call it, declared coronavirus a pandemic. And then it was just like, who's Bernie?
Right.
No one even knew.
But he's refusing to drop out, right?
Of course he's refusing to drop out. He's an old. We're going to be lucky if any of them freaking survive the corona apocalypse.
I know.
How many of them will be left standing at the end of this?
I don't know.
They're all at risk.
They're all at high risk.
Hands. They've been out shaking hands.
Traveling around the country shaking hands.
Probably spreading the coronavirus.
Yes. And next we've got canceled.
The entire world. Yeah, the world as we know it is canceled.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Coronavirus has proven to be the ultimate authority in cancel culture. All the sports. Isn't it weird that Kobe died and then literally all the sports got canceled?
Yes.
Kobe is a very powerful ghost. What else got canceled? Italy. Pray for Italy.
Yeah. They're in it right now. And
they're in it.
What they're in right now is headed right for us.
And there were all these videos of everybody in quarantine in Italy singing from their balconies and playing music.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring that you saw this in China as well, but they've been coming out all the time from Italy. I've learned that a shocking amount of Italians have tambourines just lying around. It's like, there were like 4 tambourines in one of the videos. And 2 accordions. I'm adding a tambourine to my apocalypse prep. I think we need a tambourine or 3 maybe.
3.
What else got canceled? Disneyland, finally.
Disneyland and Disney World.
I had a friend telling me that they were going to Disneyland 2 days. I think it was Tuesday.
Oh,
like, what are you
my
doing?
God.
Coachella got canceled. Postponed. What's going to happen to all those flower crowns?
They'll go unmade.
Live audiences have been canceled.
Mhm.
All the late night shows. Stand up.
Yeah.
My gamble to put more of my effort into writing and this kind of thing as opposed to stand up. It's really paying off right now. So since you can't go anywhere and do anything, we suggest you come watch our videos on YouTube. And please subscribe if you like it. Since you are saving that $5 on not going out and drinking a beer, we suggest you see the unedited version of this, which is bonkers, on PHETASY.com. And also, it's a great community where everybody's keeping each other entertained during these trying times.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun in there.
It is fun. It's a good way to be social distance and still be social. The Met was canceled. Schools and university classes were canceled. Everyone was sent home. Europe was canceled. St. Patty's Day parades were canceled. All of that was a whole weird thing. And a lot of places were very reluctant to cancel their St. Patty's Day parades, including our hometown.
Which leads us to our new category, Parade of Morons.
Yeah, we canceled all the parade. However, we didn't cancel the Parade of Morons on national TV and radio and also just out in the world doing stupid things in the face of a global pandemic. We had PSG fans who couldn't go see the match all gather outside and support their team. Morons!
Morons.
Moron.
They canceled it for a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason you're not inside. Morons!
Morons.
Morons.
And then there's in the UK, they all went to the horse races.
Oh,
thousands
that was
of
nuts.
them. Morons!
Morons.
I like how it sounds like the little kid who's like, morons! Am I right? Right, guys?
Right, guys. Morons.
Am I doing this right?
Morons.
We're morons too. Okay, then there were the Smurfs in France.
Morons.
Morons.
Morons? Morons. Oh, the Smurfs thing killed me.
Voilà! On va schtroumpfer le coronavirus.
Okay, first of all, it's like morons cubed. Why are you dressing up as a Smurf? A, moron. Secondly, why are you trying to break a world record of being the most people dressed up like Smurfs anywhere? What kind of fucking life goal is that?
Morons.
And thirdly, you're getting together even after they tell you that you're going to get freaking coronavirus and spread it and you shouldn't be meeting in large groups. And you're dressed as Smurfs doing this. The next world record is going to be number of Smurfs dead.
Largest recorded number of Smurfs dead in our global history.
Breaking news, largest number of Smurfs gathered. And in other news, the largest number of Smurfs have died. Morons! Post Malone fans, we can start with morons. But why did you go to his concert? Also morons.
We go all around the world. This is a top 5 location in the world right now. No cap.
So many people seem to think that this is some act of resilience in the face of hardship by going out. No, this is not terrorism. The terrorists aren't going to win if you stay at home. The terrorists are viruses, and they will win if you go and conglomerate in big groups together. Get your shit together. I'm going to lose my voice.
Morons.
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 The king of morons, Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert, he didn't take it seriously. He was giving all the reporters crap. He touched all the microphones, and then he found out he had coronavirus. What a fucking dick. And then they had to cancel the NBA.
Right. But they were saying it as much shit as he caught for it, it probably was a good thing because it forced the NBA to shut down earlier than they would have.
Yeah, I mean, he took a hard lesson for the team, but he's also a moron.
Moron.
And then there's Matt Gaetz as a tool. He had a gas mask when he was talking about how everybody was overreacting because he was voting against sick pay, right? Sick leave?
I don't know if that was the vote. He voted against sick leave at some point.
Okay.
But then he was on the floor.
He was on the floor in the gas mask mocking how serious the coronavirus was. And then he got put in quarantine because he was exposed. He was on Air Force One and got off of it and then got put in quarantine.
Right. And is now on paid sick leave.
Yeah.
Moron!
Moron!
And a dick. What a dick.
And a dick. He gets moron and a dick. Everyone changed their tune pretty quick after the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic, and then suddenly everyone was patting their dear leader on the back for his amazingly quick response.
Ugh. Morons!
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 The queen of the morons! I'm excited because I feel like I have a real chance.
Because your crowd is gathering?
Because if these people are this stupid, I could easily be their leader. If you're a moron, I'm the candidate for you. You guys should all write me in the 2020 ballot.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, why not? If you don't want to vote for someone, just write me in because I'm not going to win, but it would still be funny. Right, Bridget PHETASY, queen of morons. We need to at least have our goal be that some news outlet has to read 0.001% of the vote went to Bridget PHETASY, queen of morons. Rascals unite! This is our mission.
Moving on to capitalism always wins.
Ugh, there's a lot of that too.
Pornhub is giving Italians free premium access during coronavirus quarantine.
And you know why? Because they can afford to do that because they're Pornhub. And good for them. What else is Italy going to do while they're on quarantine?
It's nice. That'll keep their spirits up.
Yeah.
Keep something else up.
Sam. Your mother watches this.
Slaps
Sam.
and folds.
She would be laughing.
Designer face masks debut at Paris Fashion Week. Bridget hates fashion. So they've already got a strike against them.
Ugh. Fashion. That does seem like a little bit of a luxury, buying a Prada face mask designed.
Seriously.
A little on the nose.
It's such douche baggery.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this other than it's disgusting and they should be ashamed. capitalizing on this. Please subscribe to PHETASY.com. With your spare dollars, donations can go to your favorite creators who are struggling in such a time of need.
And touch your bells and buttons.
Touch my bells and buttons. They're right by the dumpster fire. Moron! I just want a t-shirt that says moron.
Moving on to the BDE Award.
We are giving the BDE Award to the olds. I give the olds a lot of grief. And I definitely kind of regret saying I don't want the world being run by the olds. I didn't mean that a virus needed to come wipe them all out. I just meant maybe don't run for office.
Maybe it was time to enjoy your retirement.
Yes. Maybe take a step back and let the youngins step up. I'm excited to see that most people are behind social distancing because it does signal that we care about our weak and elderly aging. I don't know what the politically correct thing is. I put a call out on Nextdoor to help the elderly buy groceries, and somebody like shamed me for using the word elderly.
Oh, geez. Really?
We appreciate the wisdom of our elderly population. They're in trouble right now. This virus hits them the most. It's our grandparents, our parents. Try and help wherever you can. See if you can buy them groceries. Go pick up their meds. When I was at CVS yesterday, there were so many old people just so confused and trying to get all their stuff. And there's, especially if you're in a city, there's a lot of people who are single and alone in their cities. For a lot of people, their moments of being out, their little adventures or their kind of weekly routines are the interaction that they get socially, and loneliness can be a killer. And not just for young people, which it is as well, but particularly for the aging population. So check on your neighbors, check on each other, reach out. If you are alone and feeling lonely and getting dark, we, in all earnestness, do care about you. And we just want to give a shout out to all of the people who are aging out there. You are wise and valuable, and we love you.
Moving on to Beyond Parody. Coronavirus conference gets canceled because of coronavirus.
What the heck is a coronavirus conference? Isn't that an oxymoron to begin with? Who's scheduling a coronavirus conference?
Seriously.
They're like, we need to social distance. And what are you going to learn at the coronavirus conference? That you need to not be around a lot of people? Like, you get up and they're like PowerPoint presentation. They're like, step 1 in front of hundreds of people. Stay away from large groups of people. Slide 2. This is a highly contagious disease and you can get it from touching others. Do not shake hands after everyone's been like, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. We had a meet and greet. Morons.
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 You can't make this shit up.
No, you can't. It's beyond parody.
Moving on to dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster?
In the dumpster, we've got Sarah Palin is unmasked as the Masked Singer.
That was the weird night that felt like we were all in a simulation when Sarah Palin was in a, what was she wearing? Wearing a bear costume or something?
Bear costume, yeah.
She was rapping in a bear costume.
When a girl walked in with a nitty bitty waist and around sitting in your face,
You get sprung!
Our former, wasn't she running for VP at some point?
Yes.
2008.
Yeah.
Morons!
Morons!
Morons.
And then Gene Park tweeted, as foretold in Revelations, the first horseman of the apocalypse.
The Portland unicycler wearing a hazmat suit and with Lysol and flaming bagpipes.
When did you go to Portland?
And when did you learn to ride a unicycle?
But seriously, what the fuck is going on?
Well, there was a horse loose in D.C.
We called it. There's a horse loose in the hospital. What was going on with that horse?
There was somebody riding it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
okay.
wasn't just a random horse. Someone was riding it. I think he just wanted to do it because people had never seen a horse. I'm not sure. I didn't read the story. It was behind a paywall. What else?
Man uses a giant table as a social distancing measure.
Moron! That seems like the dumbest thing ever. It just becomes a table for germs to fall on. Unless you're like spraying that shit down every 5 minutes, it's just going to get you sick. It's just a flat surface for germs to collect on.
I know.
It's disgusting.
Uh-huh.
You're like, don't stand near there. People are just putting drinks down on it. I put my purse on it at the bank.
And then we've got Don't Trust China.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
Some guy was yelling. He's like, Donald Trump, don't trust China.
And finally, in Breaking Bridget, we have the toilet paper wars.
Somebody is going to get hurt.
What is the toilet paper thing?
I don't know.
Because you can get diarrhea with coronavirus.
No, that's not why people are hoarding it.
I think it's the herd mentality, though, too, of like all of a sudden people heard that, oh, people are starting to go get toilet paper and then they can't go get it and then they panic and they're like, I need toilet paper.
Yeah, it's scarcity.
Yeah. They think they hear their neighbors are hoarding toilet paper, then they're like, I must go get toilet paper.
It's a weird phenomenon. I would love to like study that phenomenon because it seems definitely like a scarcity phenomenon where I kind of get it. It's, you know, you want something you can't have it, or when it's taken away, you suddenly appreciate it more. That's the difference between panic and being prepared.
Yep.
Because if you're hoarding stuff like that, you are actually making it worse for the olds and the sicks and the people who can't get out. So you're not helping. And if you're hoarding masks, you go give those to your nearest hospital nurses and people who are frickin' on the front lines working so they're not sitting in your frickin' house, you lunatics. But toilet paper is a weird one, too. Give it away if you're hoarding it. Help people. This is a time for all of us to help each other, not to be selfish, to be selfless. We need to gather together. If anything will make us realize how we're all connected, it's a virus that does not discriminate. If you're healthy and young, try and be of service. And if you are elderly or your immune system's compromised, please reach out. Someone's willing to help you. When I put the message on Nextdoor, there were like 5 other people who were like, I'll go do grocery. There are so many people willing to help and volunteer. So try and be helpful. Don't hoard resources. And for the love of God with the toilet paper, calm down, people. Fantasy News. We had Gigi Lavangi on Walk-Ins Welcome this week. It's a fun conversation. Check it out. I also go on a long rant about the coronavirus at the end, which we have on YouTube. You can sign up for PHETASY.com and get in the community. Join us. We're having fun. It's social. It's not that expensive. It's the cost of a latte, which you can't go out and buy anyway. And you can see the mostly unedited version of Dumpster Fire. Also, BridgetPhetasy.com for merch. We have more merch coming. Thank you, Better Phetasy, for your research. Thank you, Cousin Maggie and Sammy Flaps and Folds. I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you, Zen Pro Audio, for this mic. I love it, and you will too. For all your audio needs, go to Zen Pro Audio. Thank you. Viewers, subscribers, supporters, anyone out there who's alive still, let us know how you're doing. Subscribe, comment, tell your friends. This is going to be interesting times. Citizen, we are living in interesting times, and we're happy to try and make you laugh through some of the terror and panic you might feel, because we're feeling it too. We just express it differently. So with that, this has been your Dumpster Fire for the week of March 8th to March 14th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich-ish.